in Kyle's defense, a good friend, like if it were you or me, I mean, a good friend should jump in and say, look, not excusing it, but she has been through a lot. And I think that's where this was coming from. And then Garcelle shut that down. And like, I don't know, the internet came for, I'm like, this is so dumb that you guys are coming for Kyle. Like, I get what they're saying. If it were one of Kyle's daughters, if it was Portia, I'm sure Kyle, it would be a whole thing. Kyle would be in tears. She'd be doing a split, whatever. But
the internet has read Kyle for filth.
Don't you think that's ridiculous? Like, that's so
well, here's the thing. This is how I feel. This is honestly how, and I did talk about this with Kim on Patreon. First of all, where do we begin? A, I don't know why no one is coming for Mauricio. I'll say that again. B, people are kind of coming for Erika. Not really. Kyle is getting the brunt of this. Now, I do feel that I've said this before, and I'm not coming for her. Kyle is the sniper from the side. Kyle is, listen, I feel that the manipulative people on this show are Kyle, Rinna. I think Garcelle is great at manipulation, and I think Erika. And oh God, Rinna. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, Dorit is not a manipulator. And I'm not even saying this in a bad way. I just think Kyle is a sniper from the side. And I think Sutton is extremely authentic. And it's not even a negative, but it's kind of like, listen, this is what I said again on Patreon. It's a little Mean Girls. I kind of have a completely different opinion than you do. It's the Fox Force 5. And we don't need to mention the person who's not on the show anymore. We have Dorit, we have Erika, we have Rinna, and we have Kyle. To me, it is Mean Girls-ish, because here's my whole thing. If Sutton Strack, we all know Sutton, she loves her fashion. She has parties in the back in a mud swamp. If Sutton Strack told Garcelle's child to fuck off, Kyle and Rinna and Dorit would be on a fucking witch hunt. It would be a witch hunt. Lisa Rinna would be screaming. There would be so many social media posts by Kyle and Lisa Rinna now about wanting to nail Sutton to a cross. It is a double standard. It's like, it's a little bit of this Mean Girls, Fox Force 5. It's because it was Erika and that's their girl. That's how I take it. And I don't know, like, why is Kyle getting involved in this? Like, I don't blame Garcelle. I don't. I mean, if I were having a conversation with you and someone else was apologizing, and I'm like, we are actually getting somewhere. Because Erika was very sincere. Look, that was sincere.
Owned it.
I would be like, why are you involved in my fucking business? Like, this is my child and this is serious. And I mean, granted, why are you fucking discussing it in front of everyone? I mean, the producers probably are making you, but I would have been like, you got to stay the fuck out of this. I actually agreed with that from Garcelle. And listen, I don't want children. I don't like children. I am, the thought of me just talking about this and the thought of even someone suggesting I have a child makes me hyperventilate. But I have a lot of friends with children, and I know that you don't, even if you blink one little eye out of the corner in a wrong way to someone's child, you will be decimated. Like, as much as I hate children, I have a lot of friends with children, and I know that you bow to the fucking altar. You get your knee pads on and you bow to the altar.
Well, I think it's just in almost all situations, it's always like the kids are, kind of hands off, right? The kids are always like a neutral ground. I guess it's funny, we do have a different opinion because I don't see Kyle as such a manipulator. I don't know. I mean, she's a pot stirrer for sure. Like, I think she loves, obviously, the tea, she loves to stir the pot a little bit. And, I don't think it's any secret at this point, Rinna, Erika, Kyle, they are kind of ride or die. I mean, it is the four of them. And I'm sure it is very hard for Garcelle and Sutton, although, like, I love both of them, and Crystal. I think it is hard for them to come into that mix. I think they're doing a great job holding their own, because I think there's no doubt. And like, there's just so much Hollywood history with Rinna, with Kyle, I mean, they have a lot of clout in Beverly Hills. So I do think you're right. Like, there is that dynamic, but I don't see Kyle as this, like, I don't see Kyle as malicious. Like, I don't get where, like, this like blew up on Kyle, but Mauricio's not involved. And I do think, it was interesting. Like Dorit doesn't really go against Kyle, but I think when Kyle was like, can you guys believe she told, like how funny was that? I mean, I think you saw from Dorit, yeah, like Dorit was not comfortable with it, didn't really call her out, but wasn't comfortable. I think that was obvious. PK and Mauricio are like, they don't give a fuck about any of these women. They don't care. They don't care about the kids. Like,
Mauricio's like, this is funny. I mean, that's the thing. Like, listen, Kyle, when she says this is my whole thing too. And I'm not coming for. I'm just saying when she talks about the editing of it, when she's like, well, because she has said, I was saying it was really funny that Erika was drunk. Not that she said this. Well, two things. First of all, that in this scenario that this is going to be chopped up and this 1 hour conversation is going to be 3 minutes of screen time. You know how this works. So when someone brings up Erika telling this 14-year-old to go fuck himself, that every word out of your mouth should be like, I can't believe this. And oh my God, like whatever, even if you're talking about something else, how it's going to be edited. This is not season 3, sweetheart. So I still don't understand how when Mauricio's like, I'm so glad she did it. It's so funny she did it. Okay, he could be saying it's so funny she got drunk, but that's not really I don't know how you could blame that on editing.
well, I see how you could blame it on editing because I think they're right. They probably were sitting there having drinks and had a 30 or 40-minute conversation about Erika in this situation. And to your point, it got shaved and cut down. And, Mauricio was probably saying, like PK said, if anybody deserves some time to like blow off some steam, it's her. Like she deserves a moment. And Mauricio was probably like, yeah, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm glad she did it. Yeah.
But I mean, for Mauricio not to get that, this is what just drives me insane about the internet is like everybody gets an opinion. The opinions don't always make any damn sense at all. It's like, it's so weird. I mean, I think the person that's the happiest about this is Rinna because it's like suddenly we forgot all about Rinna's Instagram posts and it's like now we're on to Kyle and it's like I keep looking at all the hate she's getting and I'm like, okay, did she like destroy someone's? I mean, it's just so fucking weird to me how people like on the internet like clam on.
People love a witch hunt. I mean, listen,
it's just so dumb to me. I don't know. To me, I'm over it. I thought Kyle's explanation was great. And like, I just don't get how she's the one being read, but okay.
People love a witch hunt. I hate a witch hunt. I don't get offended by anything. I'm over things. I mean, in my real life, it takes so much to get me to snap. I actually did snap yesterday. We don't need to get into it, but it takes so much to get me there. And I did snap. And then like 2 hours later, someone's like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, what? That was 2 hours ago. I am so over that. I mean, I did tell you to go fuck yourself pretty hardcore over and over, but like that was like an hour ago. You're great.